I've been talking about this concept a lot, but I think it truly is a key concept, which is the idea of pipeline sources, which is what are these major sources of pipeline that are capturing demand? And you can eventually calculate sales velocity and overall impact of revenue pipeline and all these other key metrics by pipeline source. The reason that we use pipeline source and not channel like Google or things like that is because pipeline source is a much better predictor of actual sales velocity and sales funnel metrics. Each of these pipeline sources is built to capture demand. And we need something above that at the top to say, what are we going to do to create the demand that then trickles down to all these different pipeline sources to capture, which leads me to Pipe, which is the framework that we've built that is focused on creating demand across all of these sources. Who's in your ICP, set up that thing, not just your top 200 accounts, your entire ICP, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Own the market with content driven through media, organic, paid, events, everything like that. Create demand. The Pipe channel is focused on your high intent website conversion, which should be your number one highest converting, highest sales velocity, highest sales productivity channel in your entire business. And when you start to optimize and grow that, the ability to scale it out becomes really, really impressive because the efficiency metrics are so strong. So you have this two motions, creating demand across the entire ICP, and the Pipe motion is focused on capturing the most demand through our website because it most closely aligns to how B2B buyers want to buy today. The reason that it's called a pipe and not a funnel is because the conversion rates are potentially 100x better than an MQL model. Inside of the Pipe framework, there are three core measurements that happen. One is called the Pipe conversion, which is somebody comes to your website, it's qualified, and says, I want to talk to your sales team about buying your stuff now. The next point of that is how many meetings you get booked from that, which we're calling a Pipe qualified meeting. The reason that I intentionally separated these into two stages is to show people how bad their follow-up processes are and show them how much revenue they're losing by not fixing this part of the process to align with how buyers buy. And then the last piece of it is Hero Pipeline. I've talked about this before, but I believe this is a game-changing metric in all of go-to-market because it standardizes your pipeline and aligns you perfectly with what your sales team needs using sales win rates as the quality control metric. And so by using a win rate metric from sales, you can standardize your pipeline outcomes across all the other companies that have the data and want to share it. So to be very clear in the definition, a Pipe conversion comes through, gets into a meeting, and then the opportunity needs to progress to a stage where your sales team wins it at greater than 25% over the trailing 6 months of those opportunities. When companies adopt this at scale, it creates some really interesting opportunities because now what we've done is essentially created the metric system for go-to-market. I believe this will be a complete game changer, and I believe the benchmarking component is why a lot of companies will move and adopt it because it will allow them to see how they perform relative to their peers. The market needs this.